the CEO Confidant here in the US, and obviously welcome all of you to Expansion Network, accelerating the consciousness of humanity every single day. And we are today resuming what we have been doing for months now, the reality check on the planet show, Living Without Fear, with Judy Machado. She's now in Canada. Hi, Judy, how are you?
I'm good. Hello, everybody. Hi, Angel. Such a pleasure to be here with you always. Your beautiful energy, and so
Thank
beautiful
you.
to create this platform to bring all your other beautiful souls that are on here listening, watching, whether it's live or recording. I love you. So exciting to be here with all of you.
Exactly. And this is, as we always say, this is a place of joy, of love, and of understanding. Okay, don't expect, although we're going to talk obviously about what's going on in our respective locations in the world, because that's the goal of the show. But we bring and we welcome every single opinion out there, and we are not here to judge anybody, but rather to offer a different argument, a different position, so that everybody can use their discernment properly. So it's been already a few weeks, so lots of things for sure have happened in your neck of the books. But before we do that, why don't we talk about how do you get to this week? How do you get to this show here today, Judy?
How did I get to here, the show?
How is the week been? How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel great. It takes daily ritual and focus to stay in a place of and it happens, it's definitely, I'm in and out of it sometimes, but to really try and stay for the most part in a place of expansion, of understanding why it's all happening, right? Why is all this chaos happening in the world? And so my daily rituals, my focus, I'm so grateful for them. And I have beautiful people in my life, such as yourself, and things that I listen to and surround myself with to keep me in this space of protecting my own energy, and also ensuring that I'm constantly being reminded of why it's happening, and that I don't necessarily have to be part of all the chaos, that I can stand back and see it and come in and out, and really just see it as a gift, really a gift for all of us with evolution. So staying in this space, that we're just constantly in and out of, and supporting each other to hold hands, to support one another through this whole thing, right?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I like the way you described it, because actually you were just giving a few hints to people listening to us on how to protect their own energy, which I think is extremely important nowadays.
Yeah.
So how would you, and you mentioned something very, very significant, obviously also for me and for sure for everybody listening and watching us, which is everything that's happening in the world, we are evolving with it, right? We are evolving, and our opinion, we are evolving with what's going on around us every single day, right? And I'm sure that in Canada, lots of things have happened in the last, I would say, month, right? So what would you say? How has your thoughts, opinions, impressions changed or been tweaked in the last few weeks?
Well, it's interesting. I'm going to talk a little bit about some changes that happened here, some announcements and changes, and then I'm going to talk about again back to sort of why I believe anyway it's all happening, and sort of the place that I think that the opportunity for all of us. And so what has happened in the last few weeks, there's been many changes here in Toronto and in Canada in general, but definitely in Ontario. So we have an election happening, which came out of nowhere, and there's this mandate that just was announced a couple of days ago that as of September 20th or 30th, I'm not even really sure, because I'm purposefully not listening too much and just kind of observing and being aware, that there's a new mandate that on the 20th, I believe, of September, that unless you have double shot, that you cannot go into public places. And that this is going to happen as of the 20th. So that would include indoor restaurants, indoor theaters, or shows or anything like that, and even gyms. So, there was a big upheaval, as you can imagine, because there's been talk of this, and now it's officially been announced. And so yesterday and the last 2 days, September 1st and 2nd, were very significant days here in Toronto in terms of people coming together and protesting for that. So the nurses, there was a nurse walkout on the 1st, which was 2 days ago, in front of one of the big hospitals, and they asked for everybody to come support them, because now, of course, a lot of businesses, including all government workers, all nurses, all medical staff, have been told by a certain date, if this doesn't happen, if you don't take that next step with the double dose, that they were going to terminate their positions. So there was this big movement happening in front of the hospital on the 1st. The 2nd was what I believe is the first protest for the police. So yesterday, in front of our police main division, the police were doing their own protest.
Wow.
So that was incredible. And so it's people are coming out. There's a lot of movement I'm noticing. Again, I don't try and spend so much time on social media anymore. I'm really focused more. It's more just sort of trying to be what I heard once, which was so beautiful, how to be a producer on social media instead of a consumer. Or like produce your content, just share how you're doing, but don't sit there all day long watching, especially the polarity. And so what I've been trying to do is just remove some of the people, like just choose the accounts that I really just want to follow, which are focused more on the new earth versus, because I get that we're living in this, and I get that we need to know what's going on here. But the more we focus on what's happening right now, the more we're actually adding to that consciousness and keeping that in this place. So it's like, yes, at least I feel like it's important that we know, and we're seeing what's happening in our physical world, and then also spending a lot of time in this new earth that we're creating. So what are we doing right now to create this new earth? So what kind of collaborations? Who are we talking to that are in this higher space expansion? And so these have been some of the changes that have happened here. So it's happening fast and furious. And our prime minister is also on the news, saying some very interesting things in a very angry way about the polarity and about how the one side is affecting their children. So it's crazy, the messages that are happening. They're getting stronger and stronger, and there's more force, much more force happening, it seems, from the people that are dictating, what they believe is the solution for what they believe is one of the biggest problems in the planet right now. So now I want to share a little bit about what I've been thinking about a lot, right?
Exactly.
So exactly. And I'm like, and you can get caught in this and be like, oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. The end of the world is coming. Or I can just feel like, okay, again, I always go back to the butterfly, right? The caterpillar must go through its shell, must go into its crazy little cocoon and turn into mush and feel like it's dying in complete darkness before it can literally resurrect, right? It must die. Its entire physical being dies and transmutes and transforms into a butterfly, and it becomes resurrected in this butterfly. And I believe that is the process that we're all going through individually. In what areas of our life must we shed and die? Literally, that person that we were for that other person, who we've become to satisfy this person here, who we become to satisfy our boss, who we become to satisfy our partner. All of these must literally die so that we can be reborn and resurrected. I love that word, into this new who we really are, these incredibly powerful sovereign beings that we are. And so what I've been doing is really focusing, again, I'm very careful with what I read, what I watch, who I talk to, the beautiful people I surround myself with, just to help me in staying in this space of remembering that we are in the stage. We are getting close to the stage of the cocoon. I believe there's more to come. I believe that the mush hasn't even happened yet, where we're literally going to dissolve, be in that complete darkness, and then awaken into this new being individually, but also as a collective. So not just you and you sort of dying into it from who you were and becoming this incredibly powerful light that you now see in yourself. And then also us coming together, because how much stronger are we going to be together when all these beings that are literally being reborn, being resurrected, whatever you want to call it, coming into their light, stepping into their light, releasing these fears and stepping into this power that we actually, especially when we come together, we can do so much. And I'm seeing so much of that, which is so exciting. Someone just today came to pick up some cacao. I have a porch pickup for the summer because of the melting issue with the cacao. And he was just saying to me that, he does coaching, and now he's decided to partner with two beautiful souls. He was just describing that in the past, he sort of had this pattern of attracting really great people as partners, but like not quite so fully, aware. And so there were issues that were always in their partnership, their career partnership. Now he's just like, wow, like he's started to do plant medicines, started to do different things in his life to expand his awareness. And in that expansion, he's starting to see different things in his awareness. So like these beautiful two people that he's partnered with now to do a different type of leadership coaching. So it's so beautiful to see that's happening. We are all starting to come together. And even if it's not happening in your world yet, and you're watching this, you're going, I don't know what she's talking about. I'm still in this really difficult place. And, I have to make a decision. Do I do this or not? Because I'm going to get fired in the next couple of weeks. Just know that the caterpillar has to go through that cave, that period of being in that cave, that complete scary, I have no idea what's going to happen to me phase, but have total trust and love and have people around you. At least, unlike the caterpillar, we can have people around us who we can be listening to and who can support us. Even if we don't know necessarily one of those people to call, we can have people that we're just listening to. I remember when I was young and it's first going through my journey, Wayne Dyer and Ram Dass, I used to listen to their stuff all the time. I wasn't actually on the phone with them, talking to them, but they were like me. And they were just, what they believed in, I was boring that belief. I was boring that belief temporarily to then create that belief myself, to sort of grow that belief in myself, that then created a new reality for me. And so I just keep reminding myself every day that what's happening is part of the shakeup, right? Because we've been living as zombies. Humans have been living as zombies, literally walking around like this, following every single thing that we did yesterday, saying the same things we did yesterday, doing the same things we did yesterday, because that's just what the program is. It's do the same, everything else is scary. And so it's literally very small percentage that's open in your being, in your persona, that's open to something new because it's scary. And so this is all new. Everything that's happening in the world right now, we're navigating uncertainty like never before in all areas of our lives. And so realizing that is the only way to break free from our patterns, which are over 95% of what we think and do and say is this conditioned pattern, which comes from a place of lower consciousness, the collective consciousness. And so how do we choose differently? How do we realize, oh my God, I've been listening to I've been doing everything that I see collectively at a mass level is the collective consciousness. So maybe I can decide to step away from that right now. And what really feels good in my heart, what's coming from love and not manipulation, fear, control, force, what really feels good in my heart, where am I hearing that? And how can I hear more of that? And those are choices we can make every single day.
Thank you. I think that you've made a very comprehensive description of how things are going, but more importantly, what we can do about it. It's so funny. That has happened with Judy like a ton of times already. But while she was explaining, actually this week, I started last week, and this week I did the exact same thing that you did. I have been disconnecting, unfollowing, and just making sure that every single time, if I have to be on social media for any reason, and it's not for posting or commenting myself because I want to do it, just to make sure that what I'm going to see is something that is going to help me be, who we really are, who I am. I really am. So that's very important. And maybe just to add something to reiterate what you just said, that really we're in the right path, although our senses tell us we are not. This anger is a great symptom.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've any of you, obviously we don't want to be sued, and we don't want to go to court for any reason, but there's something called evidence, right? So this anger from those people that call themselves elected leaders, right, that are here to serve us, all of us. Reminder, they're here to serve us, all of us. If they are fearful, then they are angry. So this anger comes out of desperation. That's why this is so clear. And again, psychologically speaking, it's very clear, that obviously those things happen because there's desperation. And there's desperation to achieve things that they're not able to achieve. And then the question is, if you have to show your anger in order to lead, what kind of leader you are? What kind of leader are you, right?
Can you say that again? That was so beautiful, because so many people listening are leaders or working to be leaders, and that was so beautiful.
Because I believe, honestly, that the leaders in the future, they are either conscious leaders or they will be not. Again, all the leaders are there to serve the people that they lead. Public officials, they have been elected by everybody, right? They serve their nation. They serve every single person in their country or in their municipality or in their state, whatever that is. So why don't you take all of them into consideration? Again, you have to lead. You have to lead. Everybody, absolutely everybody. If you think that you're going to lead the people that you want to lead by fear and by anger, you are so wrong.
Right.
So go back to, so that's why the change is happening already. And out of desperation, they are not leaders any longer if they keep on using fear and they keep on using anger. And that shows exactly where they are and where they stand.
Yes. That was beautiful, because I know you are really an expert in leadership. And that is what you do for a living. You support people in conscious leadership. And such an important point that you said there around, if you have to lead with anger, that's a big stop everything you're doing.
Exactly.
And just look at yourself in the mirror, because leadership, like you said, the future is going to be conscious leadership. That's it. No one's going to follow anything that's not conscious, because we are all waking up, and we are going through that right now. And there's a period where a lot of people are being misled simply because they're just not as, we've been conditioned to just believe stuff, right? So they're believing the news, believing everything, but they're starting also to be like, wait a minute, hang on a second here. This feels weird now. This feels ugly. And now here I'm involved in the ugliness. I'm being part of the ugliness and sharing the ugliness. And that needs to happen, because how can you know what the light is if you haven't experienced the dark? And so that needs to happen for those of us. And I don't mean just, certain people need to experience this. We all are here. If we're all here on Earth School right now, we all need to be part of experiencing this. The question is, do we need to be in this? Do we need to be in the depth of the mixing bowl of the duality and the craziness? Or can we step aside and say, wow, I'm observing over here that there's some serious duality happening, and that it's just a temporary forgetting of who everybody is. Everyone's just temporarily forgotten who we are. And that's, I believe, why we come to Earth School, is we all agree that we're coming here to temporarily forget who we really are, to enjoy the experience of remembering. And so I try and remind myself that they're just temporarily forgotten because of this conditioning, who they really are, and that we are each other, that we are brothers, sisters, lovers, like we are everything all in one, every single one of us. And that, how can I just remember to send that love to everybody, right? Versus, and judgment, it's something that, again, I struggle with, right? I find myself judging all the time, constantly. What are they doing? That's terrible. What are they doing? And again, I think that's part of why we're all here. If we stop judging, when we get to a place where there is no more judging, we become enlightened, and then we move on to, some other school, Mars school, or whatever other schools there are. That's part of the journey, right? And so acknowledging that yeah, it sucks, or not sucks, but I'm observing myself getting caught up sometimes in it, and that's okay. I'm allowing myself to, at least I'm acknowledging that I do get caught up sometimes in it, but I'm also thankfully more times remembering, okay, wait a minute, get back over here and remember that this is all part of evolution. It's the dance of evolution. It's the fear, the love, the fear, the love. That happens all day long in our lives. It doesn't matter how, far removed we are. We're in a physical world. It's going to happen to us too. Location's going to change. Something's going to happen. Maybe it's a lockdown. Maybe we can't go to restaurants, whatever it is. It's the fear, the love. And it's a matter of what do we do about it, right? How are we going to move past this?
And although it looks like it's difficult, because obviously there's a lot of people, the reason why anger from a leader is being used is obviously because they try to achieve a certain objective. But just go to your own personal, history, or to your own personal, conditions or circumstances. When you talk to your parents, to your siblings, to your kids, to your friends, are you always in anger? Are you always trying to do things with them and you are in anger? And if you don't do it, you are even more angry. And again, ask yourself, why are leaders in anger? Why? Knowing that they're here to serve everybody, regardless of a number of shots or a number of tests. Right. They're here to serve everybody. So again, desperation is what they continuously, desperation, what they continuously see and hear. And again, it's that's why it's so important what you explained before, to be able to go back to this place of love and to be compassionate with ourselves. And go back to that place where we can still be friends and be and talk to each other, because the thing is, also in reality, you still say good morning to your neighbor. You still open the door to that old woman that is you meet at the basement of your home, and you go with the elevator together, right? You still do that, and you don't ask her many different things that you have not asked her for years, right? So why? I mean, you will still love her, and probably she really appreciates your gesture, right? So that is still here. That has not disappeared. All the love, all the appreciation from all of us, all the communities, all the members of those communities is still here. It's still here. That will never change, regardless of the anger of anybody. So that's always going to be the case. So here in Texas, thank God, we have a governor that, as opposed to last year, this year was very clear. In the month of March, he said,
not going to happen.
It's not allowed. It's not allowed to make a mask mandate in any government-related agency, and he literally explicitly said that, and there was an executive order, and that then throughout time he has added, no restrictions to traveling because of any number of shots, of any shot at all. No, there's going to be no passports, nothing. And the freedom of Texans is going to be preserved. So obviously you still see some resistance, because again, there's a lot of people that want to resist, and the numbers are there. So, if you just look at the numbers, you feel comfortable, and you go to the streets here, I would say the amount of population that even works any sort of, covering is probably 2%, 3%, 5% maybe.
Wow.
So it's really, it's really very reduced. So, and it's not the only state or the only place in the US that this is happening. So again, regardless of whoever might say on TV, people are healthy, and people are having fun, and people are going back to their normal lives as if nothing happened. And this is our reality, and this is our reality in Texas.
Wow.
So and obviously that doesn't mean that people are or have different opinions, which is good. But we still can have those opinions, and we still can have those conversations. And I refuse to confront anybody because of their personal beliefs.
Yeah.
I refuse to do that. I proactively refuse to confront anybody that doesn't have the same beliefs, because that's exactly, and I'm having chills as I'm telling you, because this is why we are here.
Yeah.
We're here to build bridges all day long, all day long. So, we are all contributing to the change of that, common consciousness. And we are all building, and we are all still working on that cocoon for sure, regardless of where we are in the world. So it's a great opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity. So Judy, thank you for being with us again today on this amazing show. If people want to know more about you and Goddess Temple Cacao, where do they have to go?
Yeah, just Goddess Temple Cacao, Instagram, YouTube, or website, goddesstemplecacao.com.
Wonderful, easy, nice and easy. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here at the Expansion Network as usual, and everybody that has been with us today. I'm sure that you have enjoyed the conversation, this very special show of us, Reality Check on the Planet, Living Without Fear. And we hope to see you soon again in our next show. Thank you for being with us. Have a wonderful day and week. And please stay safe, okay? And stay aware, as I always say. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.